So the first one, start off in a good stance initially. Even a really good get off. Only thing that really screws you up here, actually there's two things. So first one, we'll play it in slow-mo so you can look at it. When you take off out of your stance, your hands are the last thing to hit. And this is what I call catching blocks rather than delivering a blow. So think of when you're coming out of your double team or when you're coming out of your stance. I say for double teams, but for all blocks, like we're doing our 4-point or 6-point explosion, where your hands are going to be the first thing to make contact. So if you strike, you can definitely lift this guy up. That's the point man. And that'll fix your problem that you're having. Because, yeah, by catching, you're not able to get up under his shoulder pads and lift him up. And then you end up with them on the same level. And obviously, us taking on like 250 to 300 pounds is a lot different than 400 to 600 pounds of pressure on us. So that one. And then the other thing I see, just taking too long. You're taking too long of steps for the run game right now. So this would be a really good pass get off right here. Really, it's not even the first step that's the issue. Because, that's about a little longer than we like to take. Normally, in the run game, I like to take 6 to 8 inch steps just so I can process and keep my feet moving. But by taking this long step, you end up getting 1, 2 steps into the ground. And then because you didn't have your extension right there, you're not able to keep your feet chopping. And so you end up in the same position as so when you're bull rushing the offensive lineman and they're not keeping their feet going, they're trying to oppose you with their weight versus opposing you with your strength. So that's going to help a ton. And then your base is too narrow. So especially with you playing nose, you're going to have a way wider base when you come out of your stance. When I show you some of my double team clips here in a minute, you'll see what I mean. But really easy fixes, man. I wouldn't get discouraged about this or anything. I know when you go out there today, though, especially after this video, it's going to be a lot different. And then you never want to rip in between a double team right here. Because you're ripping. If it's a true double or a power double, meaning it's not going to come off, now you have no chance of getting off this block at all in this position. So this one, they kind of gave you a bad look right here. One, your center's not going to be that low and be able to snap the ball. And then second thing, they're not going to have that wide of splits if they're trying to double team you. Same thing. Whenever you struck, you didn't actually deliver a blow. Whenever you're making contact, you're in this position right here. And we don't do any lifts in the weight room in this position. And that's why you don't have any power right there. So we got to strike, shock, drop our butt like we were doing this past Sunday. And then start hipping in the Kofi right here. Good thing for you, though, is that these big-ass dudes that you're having to play against in practice are going to be the same size, if not bigger, than a lot of guys you're going to play this year. So it's going to give you a good look. But, yeah, so strike, get extension. Make sure to keep our chest down. We're not giving them free access, because as soon as they get into your chest, man, they're doing to you exactly what we want to do to them. So watch Kofi's hands right here. They get up under your chest, then he just lifts you up, and you're not able to drop underneath. And because your base is narrow or your feet are so close together, they're just taking you out of there. This one, not bad. It looked like you were actually about to strike him with your hands right here. He's just in this funky stance where he didn't have any any balance trying to go so low. So here's exactly what we want. So watch how I do this. First thing we're going to look at, his hands go immediately from the ground into his chest, into extension. We're going to end up in that position right there where we're nice and low. Then this bag is going to be like Kofi in the drill. As soon as I feel pressure from him, start throwing that hip while keeping everything firm in here, staying firm in my core to stay square. And then a nice violent ass pocket release like we do in every drill. And then a nice squat finish like we were working on last weekend. Let me run that back one more time all the way through. So we want to come out, strike, get extension. Oh, ooh, ooh. Another thing, look at how wide my base is right here. So in my run stance, I was a pretty wide-footed squatter, so I had a wider base when I squatted. So I like to damn near get my squat base in my run stance. But yeah, so watch my feet. Watch how I'm slowly gaining ground with these small steps. And then how far I keep my base to keep my power, to be able to keep balance and hold leverage up under this guy. But that's the secret, man, in the run game. Short, controlled steps, nice, wide base, striking, getting extension, knocking back, getting them off level. So we're watching these guys right here. He strikes, immediately gets up under his chest. He's able to get him offset right away. And then he just gets skinny through there. It's not a great look. This one's better. Watching these guys right here in the middle. Yeah. It's going to get dirty in there sometimes, man, but he's got to be a grown man in there. He didn't even get the greatest extension, but because he has such a wide base and he's throwing that hip into number 62 right here, he's able to violently shed the center off of him and then squeeze through the gap and get in on the play. So that's some violent-ass good shit right there. Watching from the back angle, still watching these same guys. But violence is everything, man. That's why I emphasize it so much in our drills. I think it's me right here. So red sleeves in this 3-man pod. Yeah. So nice strike, hands shooting straight to his chest, getting lockout. Nice wide base. My base narrows a little bit as I release, but then we want to come back under control. That way we can make a play. And then obviously we got to get to the ball. So you can barely see him because he's tucked off behind this ref, but he's going to strike, jack this dude up, knock his head back. He's got nice pad level. He's got a really good base. See, he's so low. The lower you can sit and stay in your stance, the less of a factor this guy is. He sheds the point man, gets him off. He gets skinny through there. And then now it's a tackle for no gain or tackle for a loss of 1 or 2. So, let's see. We got Toledo. Oh, yeah. So we're watching me right here on number 64 and 65. I'm going to come out and strike. Trying to get them offset. See, they try to connect on me right at the snap. Nice wide base. You see how wide my feet are right here to absorb the contact while keeping my feet in the ground. Number 64 sees this backer. As soon as he sees him, I know I can get rid of him. Get skinny through that gap. Coming back under control. Coming back square. And then now I'm making a play for no gain. Gain of 1. So just a couple of technical things to clean up. One, make sure we're coming out striking with our hands, staying low. Two, make sure we're having a nice wide enough base to enable us to stay low. And then three, just shortening our steps as we gain ground. That way we can stay under control. That way they can't get up under our pads. But yeah, man, I hope this helped out a little bit.